All good, all good. Good evening. It's another really hot one today. Really, really hot today, and yeah, been drinking a lot of water today and keeping hydrated. It's really, really hot, and yeah, just going for a walk this evening, and still really hot. But I was doing a bit of reflecting this evening on how games can potentially be won and lost in added time. In added time, if you're defending a lead, sometimes you get a bit nervy, the legs can get a bit heavy after a tough game, or you could be behind in the game and you think, okay, well, we'll have a go now. We'll push players forward and have a go. But for me, the most important thing is, in added time, you've got to play to the whistle. You've got to stay switched on. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for, in the right circumstances, sort of run the ball in the corner and wind the clock down if you can. But I think occasionally, and sometimes you see teams, I know from experience with individuals and teams, what they do is they tend to lose focus by just trying to survive. If they're in the lead, for example, so they might be winning 1-0 or whatever, and they're so focused on trying to just stay and see the game out any which way they can, and whether they try and run the clock down or whether they try and sort of run the ball in the corner and that sort of stuff, really. So for me, I think it's really important at that point to stay switched on. You got to keep talking, you got to keep communicating, you got to keep tracking runners, stay compact. First and foremost, do your job. That's the most important thing. I've seen it so many times. So many times I've seen it. One lapse in concentration. That's all it takes. A lapse in concentration, a header, one player not following in, not tracking, and the game completely turns on its head. For me, it's not a time, added time, just to see it out if you're in the lead. Not a time just to survival. It's a time to stay switched on. Stay switched on and see the game through. Keep compact, keep the shape, keep focusing, keep communicating. Stay switched on. Track the runners. Stay switched on. It's not an easy time. It's not an easy time because obviously at that point the fatigue, the legs, and sometimes you could be winning the game 1-0 and you think, okay, well, we're nearly there type thing, and the nerves creep in and that sort of stuff. And absolutely, and I think there is a time and place to run the ball in the corner if the opportunity presents itself. But I think ultimately, this is my perspective, you might see it differently. I'm not here to give an advice or make suggestions, but I think for me, what's really important at that point is to stay focused, keep communicating, keep tracking runners, keep talking, stay switched on, do your individual jobs. But that's my take on it. You might see it differently. It's always good to hear different perspectives on it.